Are you stressed about your upcoming insurance exam? You want to make sure that you can pass it on your first try? Stick around as I share 7 secrets that will help you ace the exam. My name is Justin Von Meigen, and I have personally helped over 10,000 people pass their insurance exams. I am a state-approved, nationally approved pre-licensed education provider and instructor, and I've personally built a multi-million-dollar insurance team. Also, in addition to doing all this other stuff with getting people passing. And in this video, I'll share some tried and true strategies to help you pass your insurance exam on the first attempt. Whether you're preparing for the life, health, or property and casualty exam, these tips will give you a huge advantage. Secret number 1 is to create a study schedule and stick to it. This is important because it keeps you organized and focused. It keeps you goal-oriented, which is extremely important not only for the exam, but for your insurance career. Most courses have a time limit as well, after which you have to pay more to extend. And you don't want to wait until the last minute. So what you want to do is break your exam down into manageable sections or even time block. And look, you're going to see videos on YouTube with people say that they pass their exam in 3 days or 2 days or a week or whatever. Look, if that's not you, it's okay. Don't worry about it. The people that I hear doing this typically have like extensive college backgrounds, or they've already taken a ton of tests like this before. For instance, in college, I studied chemistry. That's what I majored in. It's really hard. It's like the hardest thing that you can take in college. It's an absurd amount of studying and learning and like demoralizingly hard stuff. So when it came to the insurance exam, it came easy to me only because I had developed some crazy study skills from college and going to university that I applied to this material. Time block. Even if you can't finish it in a week or 2 weeks or whatever. Look, if your agency says that you have to finish it in a certain amount of time, if you don't, it's okay. I promise they're still going to hire you. Try to finish in as quick a time as you can while still retaining the material, but at least set aside a certain amount of time every day that you're going to study. So if you're going to study 3 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 2 hours a day, an hour a day, everybody's schedule is different. Totally understand if you're like a single mom juggling 2 or 3 kids and you got a job and you're trying to do all this other stuff. Maybe you can't take 4 or 5 days to study. If you maybe have some more time on your hands, you can put some more time into it. And I actually have a ton of study tools that are designed for people who are busy and on the go. The whole course and a lot of the files on audio if you need that type of way to study. So use a calendar to schedule your study sessions and set realistic goals. You can do 1 to 2 chapters a day depending on the size, but everyone reads at a different rate. So I would just start off with saying, hey, I'm going to schedule for an hour a day, 2 hours a day, whatever. That's what helped me study. I said, I'm going to study for 3 hours a day. I had 3 hours a day to put towards this, and that's what I did. And I was able to pass my life and health exam in less than 2 weeks. It took me another 9 months to get my license from the background check, but I followed a 10-day schedule to make sure I got through all the material, had a couple days of review, and then took my final exam. Secret number 2 is to understand your exam structure. It's super important to know the format of your exam, the types of questions you're going to run into, and the different timing of the exam. So you can actually go on Google and you can research your exam content outline. All you have to do is search for your state's name and put life insurance exam content outline or life and health insurance exam content outline. Doesn't matter what state you live in, you can find it on Google, and then you will see how the exam is laid out. It'll tell you how many questions are on the exam. It'll tell you how much time you have for that exam, and it'll tell you what you'll actually be tested on and what to place emphasis on. So what I did to familiarize myself with the exam format was I was in Florida when I took my test. I went in and I looked and I said, wow, 35% of this test is on the laws. So I'm really going to focus on the laws. And another 30-something% is on the types of life insurance and the riders and the types of health insurance. So let me focus on those things, the laws, and then the types of insurance and riders. And if I get that down really well, I know at least if I have a pretty good idea about the other stuff, then I can pass this test. Now, secret number 3 is to use practice exams and flashcards. Practice exams are really, really important, and same with flashcards for helping you understand the terms that are on the exam itself. You want to set aside time for your practice exams and under the timed conditions. Any course that you're taking should have practice exams. If you're not taking a course, check the description of the video for my practice exams. They're the best ones out there. They're the most realistic. Everybody I get who takes those was like, dude, those were just like the actual exam when I went in and sat for the test. Flashcards too can be good for a quick review of the key terms and concepts. Now get through your base study material and then just make sure you take the practice exams a ton of times until you get good at them. Now, what I did for my practice exams, is I went through and I took every state's actual exam, because I'm a pre-licensed education provider, right? I'm approved in the state, so I have access to like updates and changes and exam content and stuff like that. And I used that material, uploaded all that stuff for each state into AI to figure out how the actual exam is structured. And then I created 5 to 6 practice exams per state. Each exam pulls from like 200 questions. So you have over about 1,000 questions in the practice exam package, right? With multiple different exams within it that are optimized to be just like the actual final exam that you are going to take in your state. You might have some in your course. That's cool. Most of the ones in the courses out there are pretty general. So I made mine specific to every state. If you want to copy those, just click the link in the description of the video. Practice exams really helped me. So what I did is I went through my base course. Remember how I told you I took a few days just to study? Well, I just over and over took a ton of practice exams until I was getting like 85% or higher. Then I was like, okay, I feel pretty good about taking this actual exam. And taking those practice exams over and over in repetition with flashcards helps reinforce your memory and solidifies key terms. The practice exams will show you exactly where you need to study. So if you're going through the practice exams and you don't get a good score on stuff with annuities, say, and then you're like, okay, well, I didn't know any of the annuity questions. Let me go study in the annuities chapter. It'll also build exam stamina. So when you take time to practice exams that mimic the real test conditions, you will reduce the anxiety you have about taking the exams altogether. And it'll help train your brain to retrieve information quickly and improve and build your confidence. Now, secret number 4 is, this is super, super important, okay? Understand that it's okay to fail because you can always take the exam again. This isn't like school, like 5th grade, where if you don't pass the test, you get held back. It's you either pass or you fail. That's it. And do not internalize your failure. So if you fail the test, that's okay. A lot of people fail this test the first time around. A lot of people wait till the last minute to study, they cram, and they don't end up passing. So it's not the end. Failing doesn't mean you're not smart or you're not capable. It just means you need more time to prepare, and it has nothing to do with how well you are going to do in your insurance career. Trust me. I have people who took their exam 10 to 15 times. Now, I don't want you to feel like that's going to be you, because that's like the rare case. There's like ESL, English is a second language, like couldn't even read the test. So it took them a long time, many times, but through persistence, they did it. And these 2 people I'm thinking of have successful careers selling insurance. There's no permanent consequences. You can schedule to retake it quickly and come back stronger. Think of it as data. So you'll know what areas you need to work on, where you got stuck, and how to handle the pressure. The second time going in, you're going to be like, yeah, whatever. This is just the exam again. Failing does not define you. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's just a moment in the journey of becoming an insurance agent. Many successful agents failed first. So there's tons of top producers out there that failed first. Make sure that you approach this with a growth mindset, and it'll help you build mental toughness. Secret number 5 is to take care of your body and your mind while you are studying. I don't want you to completely change your habits unless you're not eating healthy or exercising anyway, but I encourage you. Stress management and physical health directly impact your ability to study and retain information. So you want to be studying in as calm, chill, relaxed as an environment as possible. Make sure you eat healthy, exercise, get enough sleep leading up to the exam. Your body forms memories when you sleep. That's when your nerves remap and make memories. So make sure you eat your proteins and your fats and get some good sleep. Don't cram hours before the night of the exam. Set a good schedule, as we talked about before, so you can prioritize your physical and mental health. And this helps me. I have to constantly remind myself to do this. Like sometimes, even now, like I'll have a ton of work I have to do, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stay up super late and get this done and wake up really early. And yeah, maybe I'll get a lot of work done that first day, but the next day I underperform on everything and I end up setting myself back even more. So don't do that. Secret number 6 is you don't need to master this stuff for real life. You just need to get it for the exam. Okay, this is test knowledge, not sales knowledge. Most of what you study won't actually help you sell a policy. It's designed to test regulatory knowledge, not real world skills. It's like calculus. You know, what do we use high school math for other than balancing our bank account, right? Treat it like a checkbox. The goal is just to pass. It's not to become a walking insurance encyclopedia. I promise you, your clients are not going to care about like all these little tiny details once you get started about the policies. You're probably not even going to be selling most of the things that you learn about. You'll rarely use the info. And you're going to probably use 5% of the information in this test once you're licensed. So your actual job is to help people follow a sales presentation and use tools that your company gives you, the company that hires you. It's not to recite insurance laws from memory. Oh, by the way, Ms. Jones, you have 30 days from... No, your job's to help people find a policy that best fits their needs. This should relieve pressure, so you don't need to memorize every clause or term forever. Learn it for the exam, then move on. And look, just focus on the finish line. Passing the test unlocks your career. That's the mission. It's not mastery of obscure definitions. You are taking this to unlock a huge career for yourself and a big change in your life. You're not taking this just to pass the test. Your goal is to pass, not to get everything right. Secret number 7. Many students stress over getting every question perfect, but the goal is simply just to pass the exam, not to be flawless. It's okay to miss a few questions as long as you answer enough to correctly pass. So focus on understanding key concepts, answering the majority of questions correctly without worrying about every single detail. Most states you only need a 70% or higher to pass. This helped me shift my mindset. Like I said, for the exam study guide, it helped me understand what I really need to focus on. Okay, I just need to know that stuff. I didn't have to be perfect. So those are the my top secrets for passing your life and health insurance exam on the first try. Make sure you set a good schedule for yourself. Know the vocabulary words. Take practice exams. I have a ton of tools that can help you pass. Check the link in the description of the video. As always, please subscribe to the channel, turn on post notifications, and you don't want to miss the next video that's also going to help you pass. So with these 7 secrets in your back pocket, you're well on your way to passing your insurance exam on the first try or the next try. So stay calm, stay focused, and you've got this.